In Haiti, there is a long-standing story about a mysterious powder that can make someone appear dead for hours and then bring them back. But when they return, they are no longer the same. They lose their memory, their will, and their sense of identity. People say they become quiet, confused, and easy to control. The people believed to be behind this process are called Bokors, voodoo practitioners who are said to use specific rituals, poisons, and psychological pressure to break someone's mind. In some cases, locals believe Bokors can remove a person's soul and turn them into an obedient servant. For a long time, these stories were dismissed as myth, but during the 1950s, the CIA began working on a secret project called MK Ultra. The goal was clear: to erase memory, control human behavior, and force obedience using drugs and psychological techniques. Some of the documents even mention attempts to create fully controlled individuals, similar to how Haitian zombies were described. And now, after looking deeper into the history and documents, we've found several facts that strongly suggest the CIA may have used voodoo-related practices, including zombification, as part of their secret mind control experiments. Welcome to The Real Central. I'm your host, Josh Quiltom, and this is the place where we dive into the most unique and unexpected stories from all around the world. If it's strange, surprising, or just downward fascinating, we're talking about it here. We are a new channel, so please subscribe to our channel and comment anything down below to push our channel higher. Thank you so much, guys. Let's continue to the video. Zombie powder, or as locals call it, coup de poudre, is a strange and dangerous mix of ingredients. It's not made in a lab. It's handmade, using plants, animals, and sometimes even human bones. Every Bokor, the voodoo sorcerers of Haiti, has their own recipe, passed down through generations and guarded with secrecy. These Bokors are more than just spiritual leaders. In Haitian culture, they are feared and respected figures who are believed to possess the power to heal, curse, or even control life and death itself. Some Bokors work for good, but many are believed to serve darker spirits known as the Loa. They perform rituals that include drumming, chanting, and the use of sacred symbols, all designed to summon spirits or channel power into physical substances, like zombie powder. These ceremonies aren't just theatrical. In Haitian voodoo, belief is everything. If a person believes they are cursed or controlled by a Bokor, their body and mind can respond in powerful, even terrifying ways. Now back to the powder itself. The most important ingredient is a poison called tetrodotoxin. This comes from pufferfish, the same kind that can harm people if not prepared correctly in Japanese cuisine. Tetrodotoxin is incredibly powerful. It blocks nerve signals in the body, causing full body paralysis. The victim looks dead, they can't move, their heartbeat slows down, and their breathing becomes almost impossible to detect. But inside, they may still be conscious. Then there's datura, a plant known in Haiti as the zombie cucumber. It causes hallucinations, memory loss, and makes people extremely suggestible. After the victim is buried and later brought back, Bokors give them datura to keep them in confused dream-like state, easy to control and unlikely to remember who they are. Some powders also contain bufotenin, a psychedelic chemical found in certain plants. It can cause emotional instability, fear, and disorientation. So, scientifically speaking, zombie powder can absolutely affect the body and mind. It can make someone look dead. It can confuse their senses. It can weaken their will. But here's the problem. The dose has to be exactly right. Too much, and the person dies. Too little, and nothing happens. And without the cultural belief in voodoo, the same powder might not have the same effect. That's why this method is so unpredictable. And that's also why it raises a big question. Would a group like the CIA, with their labs, scientists, and military goals, really use something this unstable? Or were they just inspired by the idea and found their own way to control the mind? But there's the twist. This strange powder wasn't just a local legend. In the 1980s, a young scientist from Harvard decided to go to Haiti and investigate himself. What he found shocked even the experts, not just because of what was in the powder, but what it revealed about how fragile and the human mind really is. His name was Wade Davis. He wasn't a conspiracy theorist or a ghost hunter. He was an ethnobotanist, someone who studies how different cultures use plants. But what brought him to Haiti was something strange. A rumor about a powder that could turn people into zombies. Wade Davis wanted to see if there was any science behind it. Could this powder, this so-called zombie poison, really make someone appear dead and then come back in a mindless, obedient state? If so, it could be a huge discovery, maybe even a new kind of anesthesia. But what he found was more complex than anyone expected. He met with local bokers, observed their practices, and watched how the powder was made, which could shut the body down almost completely. And then Davis collected samples and brought them back for testing. He later wrote a book called The Serpent and the Rainbow, which mixed science with mystery and became a bestseller. He argued that zombification wasn't just about chemicals. It was about belief systems, trauma, and cultural conditioning. In Haiti, if someone truly believed they were dead and buried, that belief could reshape their identity. Not all scientists agreed with Davis. Some questioned the strength of his samples. Others thought his conclusions were exaggerated. But his work sparked a bigger discussion. Maybe the mind doesn't need a perfect drug to break. Maybe belief, fear, and isolation are just as powerful. But Davis's research didn't only interest scientists. It also drew attention from intelligence observers. In interviews, Davis admitted he didn't always know who funded his field work in Haiti. Some of the money came through intermediary foundations, which was a method the CIA often used during MKUltra to hide its involvement. This raised speculation that his research into zombie powder may have indirectly aligned with US intelligence interests. At the time, Haiti was under strong US political influence. During the Duvalier regime, the CIA was known to run operations in the country. Since Davis was working in Haiti during this period and studying substances that could be seen as natural chemical weapons, some theories believe that his findings may have been observed or even been used by CIA. The popularity of his book, The Serpent and the Rainbow in 1985, and the film adaptation in 1988 helped spread the idea that zombification might have caught the CIA's interest as a possible tool for psychological control. After World War II, a new kind of fear began, not of weapons, but of the mind. During the Cold War, the United States believed its enemies, especially the Soviet Union and China, were using powerful brainwashing techniques to control people. American soldiers who returned from the Korean War were acting strangely. Some admitted to things they had never done. The US government thought that maybe somehow their minds had been taken over. This fear pushed the CIA into dangerous territory. They started secret programs to study how to control the human brain. It began with a project called Bluebird in 1950, then continued with Project Artichoke, and later the most infamous one, MKUltra. The goal was simple, but terrifying. The CIA wanted to know if they could make someone do things against their will. They wanted to see if memories could be erased. To achieve this, the CIA tried everything: LSD, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, electroshock therapy, and isolation. In one experiment, they gave prisoners large doses of LSD for 77 days straight to study its long-term effects. In another, they tested barbiturates and amphetamines injected in quick succession to try and force confessions. They even created fake brothels known as Operation Midnight Climax, where men were secretly drugged and observed behind one-way mirrors to study how drugs altered behavior. Some of the people involved in these experiments became well known. One of them was Dr. Donald Ewan Cameron, a psychiatrist in Canada who worked with the CIA. His tests damaged many patients permanently. Another was Frank Olson, an American scientist who was secretly given LSD by the CIA. Days later, he passed away after falling from a hotel window. Some believe it wasn't an accident, but a cover-up to keep secrets hidden. But what many people don't know is that MKUltra wasn't only done inside the United States. To avoid legal problems and public attention, the CIA moved some of its experiments abroad. To countries like Canada and Vietnam, where government oversight was weak, Haiti may have also been on that list. With its strong voodoo culture and limited regulation, it was the kind of environment that could be useful for testing psychological manipulation. Then, in 1997, journalist Linda Hunt reported that the CIA had used several foreign nations for secret mind control research. And here's the most serious part. Many MKUltra documents are still classified, and some key witnesses have passed away, which means we may never know the full truth. For years, both Bokers in Haiti and CIA scientists believed they could unlock the mind's secret. One used ritual and poison, the other used drugs and fear. But belief is one thing, results are another. Zombification rituals in Haiti haven't completely disappeared. In some rural areas, there are still whispered stories about people who died and then returned changed. While rare, accounts from anthropologists and journalists such as Wade Davis, Amy Willens, and Elizabeth McAllister have reported that even into the 2010s describe locals still fearing the power of Bokors, and some claim the powder is still used in secret under extreme voodoo practices. No confirmed cases have been scientifically verified, but the belief remains strong. And the CIA officially ended MKUltra in the 1970s. But investigative writers like John D. Marks and Alfred McCoy, along with Senate hearing archives, showed that even though the name MKUltra disappeared in the 1970s, some of its follow-up projects and core principles lived on, shifted into programs like MK Search and later military research with similar goals. So what actually happened? Did the CIA find something in Haiti they didn't want the world to know? Is someone still using those ancient powders? If you like this video and want to see more deep dives into more unique content, don't forget to subscribe. We've got more sooner coming or later. I'm your host, Josh Gultam. Thank you so much guys for watching. Goodbye.